Hello, welcome back to Seawolf's Den. I'm crafting Ron. Summer has been crazy. I haven't been able to get a lot of videos out, but came up with an idea. Again, another sci-fi, not fantasy, but I bought a laptop screen and it was packed pretty tightly with a lot of different things, and these were on the corners to keep it safe. And I'm just looking at these and I just see gun emplacement of some kind. And I looked at some pictures and I'm trying to get some inspiration, and I've got all these Final Faction guns. And I think I've got something planned. That's what I'm going to do. These are Final Faction guns. They're spring loaded, and you put little things in them. They're kind of cute, whatever. But I want to modify them like I did at another craft. I will probably modify these with something I will print to give this more of a gun profile rather than a toy profile. It's kind of got a toy feel to it to me. And I'm going to mount some guns inside here. And soldiers can sit inside these walls. It's perfect height for 25 or 28 millimeter. I know this would be a scatter terrain type thing, but what I'm going to do is I'll put them on a base and then build out these like dirt with some foam and sand, and just have this built up against a fortification. So I got like one or two, maybe three of these guns, and I may take these, some of these other guns, maybe something like that. Oh, that would kick butt right there. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then just mount it sideways like that. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a base, and I'm not really sure what it's going to be. Probably maybe a wood. This is the hard part. I got to glue these down. These things are a pain. Maybe a wood base, and then build this up with foam, and then put some sand and glue it around, and maybe like a scatter terrain gun emplacement like that. Quick craft. I'll get started on that. Until next time. All right, we're back with the gun emplacement project. Got one stage, or two stages on one. Got the corner packing thing stuck in the middle, and this is foam and covered in sand and glue and Mod Podge. Pretty darn hard right now. It's going to get painted. I'm going to probably put some flocking on it. Put a cannon. I've put some glue down in these joints so that it doesn't flop around. I'm going to print some more cannons stick out of here, and like I said, paint it up. And how I got to this stage is this. We got a base, and I cut a piece of foam using a hot wire cutter. This one right here. All right, the scatter terrain idea that I had for these king corners. I started basically foam that I cut up, and I showed that on the video. Made some mounds for these things to sit behind. Covered them in sand. Covered them, in glue, some Mod Podge. Might overdone it on the Mod Podge. They're a little bit too smooth, but I think I can make it work. I'm gonna put some flocking on here to make it look real. So I'm gonna mount these guys inside here. These legs are kind of a pain. I've glued some of them, and I may even take some hero clicks that I could use as just generic soldiers, and maybe kind of accompany them with the cannons. Here is a finished cannon that I did. Printed out some barrels to extend out the cannon, make it look more intimidating. And I got some more of them that I'll put on here. What I did with this one, since I didn't have, I used its cannon for another one. I took two of those Starlink cannons and put them together, and I love that. That's perfect. So that's going to be one of the different ones. I may do another one that way. I've got a couple of tripods here from another toy, and I may mount them with extra Starlink cannons that I've glued together. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So what I did with these, I'll go ahead. I've done this kind of trick before. I'm not comfortable with just slapping glue, and I like to do a little more support for anything I can put together. All right, so I take a simple drill bit. Resin turns out to be pretty easy to drill through, so I just use this hand drill through the middle. I go fairly deep, and then I have these stacked sprues. And people have asked, what do you use sprues for? I use sprues for a lot of things. I keep them around because they're handy for stuff like this, for supports, for anything. And we'll just let those sit. What I'm going to do with these are still base painted. Obviously, they're too dark. Dry brush them with some various colors. I might sponge them first and then dry brush on top. I don't know. I'm still kind of learning how to make ground look real. I know there's not much to it. I've got some terrain beige that I like to use to dry brush this. I think I Mod Podge too much. I'm not happy with that look, and that's on me. That's on me. I screwed up. I'm not gonna edit this out. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna have to do, put another thin layer of glue on top of this, and put some more sand on it. This looks more like a moon land. I guess it could look like a little bit more gray. I may sponge the color into it rather than dry brush. So I'm gonna redo these with a little more care, and we'll see how it turns out.
All right, some further work and enhancement to this project. I realized, that the advent of having 3D resin printers, I haven't done a lot of miniature kit bashing, mashing up of them, and I still have a ton of these Mage Knight and Dream Blade, and I keep buying them for some reason, even though I have printers. So I came up with the idea the last time. I put some soldiers in there, and I'm going to look through my Mage Knight Hero Fix or whatever. But I found these Mage Knight guys and some Dream Blade that I can enhance with 40K bits. And I'll enhance all of them with 40K bits to just man these gun emplacements. So I have to go through my armor bits and my weapons bits, see how I can enhance these guys. So let me go through that.
Okay, completed products. 4 gun emplacements. Ended up with 7 miniatures. The 8th just was not a successful miniature. It just didn't work out. So I got the 7 miniatures here emplaced with the guns. I set this up on a desert map just so for the contrast, and kind of made up a landing zone for these guys to defend from other crafts I've made in the past. But I'm pretty happy with the end result. The miniatures were just an add-on. I don't necessarily count that as part of the craft, but it's an extra. But I really liked it. I ended up using some parts from 40K. I don't know if I pointed this out in the past videos. These little sandbags with a knife sticking out. I had like 3 or 4 of them, at least 3, and it kind of fit the theme. So I just threw them in there. So there you go. Gun emplacements with just foam and these corner pieces from packing material. Till next time. Seek the wolf in thyself.